this is Storian. Quick note, there was a change in plan. I'm planning on uploading an update to the series every Wednesday. I hope I can stick to that plan. Right now, let's just hop into the StarClan cats. If you're confused, go watch my last video. This is a continuation of the last video, and you may have a hard time understanding if you don't. Like last time, we'll be starting in StarClan, and as some of you might have been able to tell, Flip Paw is up first. He actually became a warrior this year, being known as Fig Flip. Did I call him Flip Paw a minute ago? During the start of the year, all he really wanted to do was make Falling Star proud, and shortly after that is when he was named a warrior, honored for his integrity. But at that point, he had become quite lonesome, but very good at telling stories. An event that happened to him during this year was actually prophesized, or at least it appeared in Luck Brimble's dreams. She shared what she had saw with Rose Glare, who assured her that everything would be fine, but was inwardly quite worried. Luck Brimble's dream was of sinking into muddy earth, and though it was kind of different, I believe that was referring to when Fig Flip had a tunnel collapse over him. Fig Flip died of yellow cough, and many of his clanmates did not take this well, and are still recovering from it. But moving on to the next cat that sadly passed away. Web Tuft was taken by Green Cough. She had just joined the clan for a month. It seems this clan has a knack for inviting cats in and then tragically passing away from sicknesses only a month later. I keep saying month, I mean moon. She was daring and a great hunter, and it was her two legs who left her in the forest. But sadly, because she wasn't there for very long, there's not much to say about her. And I really didn't know what to do with her fur, because in-game, she's just a solid white cat with yellow eyes. And that's it for StarClan. Just two, again. Moving on to Falling Star, but also not just Falling Star. This year, Falling Star and Wild Speck became mates. Also, I just realized during the end of this year, Wild Speck is sick again. It feels like I can never draw him while he's not, but I couldn't resist drawing them together, so in the drawing, pretend he's not sick, but in-game, he is, and according to lore, he is. Throughout the year, it kept saying that Falling Star was putting on a brave face for her clanmates, which, after Fig Flip's death, would make sense. She was one of the cats that took it the hardest, and is still currently grieving. But it kept saying this even beforehand, but there wasn't much reason to be worried. And then it kept saying she was trying to make sure every cat was battle ready. What she had planned, I don't really know. But nothing's come of it so far. Now on to Wild Speck. He started off the year still recovering from his sickness, and I believe I forgot to mention this, he had been attacked right before he fell ill and had a claw wound, both of which healed very quickly. And weirdly enough, after he healed, he had a ton of complaints for Falling Star, and I'm not too sure exactly what that means, as the next moon they started dating. Or is it dating, or are they considered married? I don't really know. On to our deputy, Luck Bundle. I'll start off by saying her and Falling Star's relationship has gotten slightly better, due to another cat we'll talk about later. Also, in the drawing currently, I forgot to add this, Luck Bundle finds some blueberries and decides to keep them, and I forgot to draw them originally. I added them later, but not on camera. I mentioned that she was warned about the events that happened to Fig Flip with the tunnel collapsing. He was saved, however, obviously. Miss Bud came to his rescue, but she still felt very guilty that she hadn't warned him and was able to stop it. I think this kind of added to her grief when he did die. Moving on to Rose Glare. As I mentioned, he kind of comforted Luck Bundle and told her everything would be fine, despite inwardly being quite worried about it, and shortly after getting yellow cough, but healing fairly quickly. Rose Glare also encountered a presence while he was out collecting herbs, and the scent of a known cat found him, someone in StarClan that he knew. And I say that he knew because I don't think we know this cat, because when checking her relations, she wasn't too fond of Fig Flip. She didn't outright hate him, but found the kid kind of annoying. But also doesn't have any relationships with any of the other StarClan cats. It's time to move on and say hello to a new face, Horseclaw. He's actually our mediator, which is why he's so high up on this list. So I'd like to say this, his tail is not missing. I just wanted to make it shorter and fluffier. His tail is perfectly fine. He's 66 moons old, adventurous, natural intuition, and a great speaker. But his backstory is kind of interesting. It states he was kicked out of his old clans from transgressions that he's not keen on talking about. What those transgressions are, we're not sure just yet. He seems like an interesting character and certainly had his paws full during the year with being our mediator. I forgot to mention he was originally from Squirrel Clan. Next up is Mist Bud. And I was going to say she didn't do anything this year. I genuinely don't have any notes on her section. She is, however, 111 moons old, and though young to become an elder, she's still considered an old warrior, so that could be the reason she didn't do much this moon. But what she did do was save Fig Flip from the tunnel collapse. As I said, she had been the one to rush to his rescue. But aside from that, that's all she really did. So I guess we'll just... Next up is Tansy. Much like Mistbud, there's not much to say about him this moon, but I will say he started dreaming about becoming the deputy. Why? I'm not so sure. There hasn't been any signs that Luckbrimble's going to be replaced, and as I mentioned, her relationship with the clan and Falling Star has gotten a lot better. Next up is Antler Fur. We'll be skipping over Heatherheart for the time. As he did last year, he started talking about his ancestors again. This time, the clan listened, and honestly, it brought the whole clan closer together. I'm not entirely sure what he might have shared, whether it be about his parents or how he made it to the forest, but it seemed like an interesting tale, whatever it is. At some point, I think I'm going to sit down and actually write out something about his ancestors and maybe post it here. It was also the cat that took Fig Flip's death the hardest. He is still heavily in grief, and The two weren't necessarily close, but them both being the youngest members of the clan definitely brought them together, even if there was still a significant age gap. The whole clan's fairly worried about him, and honestly, so am I. I very much see his ancestors, just with the fact that he keeps calling them that, being all dead, and maybe bringing up some bad memories. Next up is Meatloaf. He was actually the cat who found Horseclaw and led him to the clan. I really wanted to make him look dramatic for whatever reason, especially with the cat he's sitting next to and looking at, who we'll talk about in just a moment. I don't know why. I think it would be cute if they're friends and have this weird kind of relationship where they're just dramatic to each other, especially with their matching bows. I think it would be cute. And maybe they knew each other when they were kitty pets. Something happened with my recording software and the rest of the cats do not have a speed paint. I really don't know what happened. If anyone has suggestions for a new software, please let me know. She used to be a kitty pet but fled from her cruel two legs. Joined kind of late in the year and still carries her purple bow collar. And I was debating whether or not taking it off of her because of her most likely having a bad connection to two legs and that just being a reminder, but I think it'd be cute if Meatloaf convinced her not to. She's 58 moons old, playful, good with kits, and a great climber. For whatever reason, I have it written down that she was a good speaker in the video. That is not true. That was a mistake. Also, quick side note, her ear is completely fine. I just saw another artist draw ears like that, and I thought it was cute, so I tried it out. Next up is a she-cat that I don't expect to see within the Warriors' next moon. This is Pale Tunnel, and it seems the name Tunnel is a curse within this clan. Who knows, maybe I'll even turn that into something, actually. That sounds like a good plot line. Regardless, she's only 16 moons, ambitious, incredible runner, and a great storyteller. But she's sick with red cough. I kind of feel like I brought this upon myself with explaining it in the last episode. I almost have no hope that she'll live, which is very sad, but I hope she can pull through. But everything in me tells me she won't. I don't think I've ever heard of a cat recovering from it. Next up we have the cats in the nursery. And no, Heatherheart didn't have a kit. Their kit was originally a kitty pet, but was left in the plains by himself by the same two legs. He was then found by Heatherheart and she adopted him. Though she's technically not his mother, she's pretty much become a queen and has been the one taking care of him. Realized something about Panther Kit just a little while ago, in fact. He fits a description that too many real-life cats fall victim to. His pelt color makes him perfect for a Halloween cat, which pretty much means a cat somebody buys around Halloween and then afterwards just simply ignores them, or on other occasions throws them out, as what happened with Panther Kit. And though the game did not state this, I think it's very clear that that was what his past was. He was bought simply because he fit an aesthetic, and once that aesthetic wasn't popular, he was abandoned. This is cruel and a habit that should be stopped. And I know this one video isn't going to be able to stop it, but maybe it'll bring awareness to it. Please don't get an animal just to fit an aesthetic. They don't deserve that. They're living creatures and don't understand why they weren't wanted after a certain time. I'm not saying you shouldn't get a pet for your kids or for yourself around the holidays. I'm saying don't just let it be for the holidays. Give it a home. I know I went on a bit of a tangent there, but this is a problem and I feel more people should know about it. The problem with the game and the kits, most of their personalities are not set in stone. So that's really it. I hope you guys liked this video, and I am working on year 3. Hopefully it'll be out next Wednesday. And trust me, from the little that's already happened, It's going to be a good year. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.